Bet Online is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for everything football. From the preseason NFL to college kicking off, Bet Online has every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads while the games are being played. Think you know your stuff? Get on our winner-takes-all $300,000 NFL pool for the upcoming season. When the game's over, head on over to our online casino and get in on a game of blackjack or poker or unwind with over 150 slot games. Head to the website today and use the promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, and get in on the action. Bet Online, the game starts here.
Who that say they gonna beat them Saints? Who that? Who that? Who that say they gonna beat them Saints? Who that? Who that? Who that say they gonna beat them Saints? Who that?
Yeah. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Long as I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. Sports Coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like Elf. I thank God every day I'm not a felt. Go to YouTube Live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your shame for the championship. Bucking on town, duck down. Falcons, pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy, then you probably smell the crooked referees or Roger Goodell. Yeah, probably like this, and I'm a who that. Every day I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like this, and I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that.
Disappointing.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
Regardless of what the, whether it's a preseason game or not. So we have a lot of things we have to improve on. But look, I thought there were some good things. I thought, early in the game, I thought the defense, in particular with some short fields, did some good stuff, and limited their, points on some short field situations. And then kind of once we had a chance to, get the field position a little bit better. I thought offense, they're at the end of the, end of the first quarter and the second quarter. I thought we had a, really nice, long drive. Thought we ran the ball well in that drive, and we were able to convert that, with a red zone score. So I was really pleased with, overall what we were able to get once we kind of got, some field position. Obviously, early on in the game, we got a couple of drives where we're backed up, and it made it a little bit more challenging. I think Sed had a play that he could have made over on the sideline, would have potentially gotten us a first down that, might have, kind of got us going just a little bit. But overall, I saw some positive signs. Thought we were a little bit better up front early on. And then I thought as the game wore on, I thought our execution wasn't nearly as good as it needed to be, as we got into kind of our second and third phase with our guys, both offensively, defensively, really, and in the kicking game. And so, a lot of things that we have to get cleaned up, but I did see some things, some positive signs to try to build on.
Can you see what happened with that Khalid McKinstry?
He has a knee injury. I think we avoided, anything serious. Now, what kind of time we're looking at, I really have no idea. But I think we escaped that I think we escaped the game, at least on initial report, without any major injuries.
DA, was that long drive kind of how you envisioned what you want the offense to look like?
Well, look, yeah, I mean, I like our ability to be able to run the football, some play action passing game. I think, certainly I'd like for us to be able to get some explosive plays. I know this team that we just played traditionally doesn't give up a lot of explosive plays, so I think we knew kind of going into the game, that would be kind of challenging. But in the way that we were able to run the football, on that drive, I thought that was, really, really encouraging.
What would you say about the decisions to not field punts inside the 10? Did you?
I think for the most part, I thought we probably should have fielded most of those. I think there may have been one that I thought was a good decision to let that go, and but yeah, I thought we probably could have fielded a couple of those that we didn't.
Did something happen to Dolan Hoker pregame?
He sprained his ankle pregame. Prior to really pregame, just throwing with the quarterbacks early on. So,
Dennis, can you get into what you saw out of your defensive front in those first couple drives with Purdy in the game, particularly in the pass rush?
Yeah, look, I mean, I thought early on we did some good things. I thought rushing coverage was working well together. So yeah, I mean, I think we've got some guys that I think have a chance to affect the quarterback. And I thought, from a pass coverage standpoint, obviously losing JaQuincy there early in the game, kind of changed some things, obviously with Lattimore already out and Adebo already out. But I thought overall from a pass coverage standpoint, I thought we were able to hold up pretty good.
Brzee got the start over Saunders. Have you seen something from Brzee lately that you wanted to at least get him a look there?
Yeah, look, he's done some good things. He's been, probably a little bit more improved as a run player, which I think is good. And I think, he's a guy that we got to continue to work to get him into the best football shape that he can be in, because when he's, rested and feeling good, he's a pretty good player, and so how can we get him to, be able to string together 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 plays, and still, be conditioned to play at the level that we need him to. And so that was part of the reason I think, we kept him in there, for that 2-minute drive is to try to, get him some of that work.
I know you haven't looked at the film, but just initial impressions of Rattler here.
Yeah, it'd probably be unfair for me to, say. I mean, I thought there was a couple of plays there late in the game where I thought Jake did some really nice things. I thought it was a little, kind of disjointed, when Spencer was in there, and I don't think it was all his fault. I mean, the one play, the ball's on the ground on the snap, so, we'll have to go back and look at it. But, I really thought there were some good things that we did, with the first group. And yet there's some things that we have to be better at. And then I thought, after that it was, a little inconsistent and sloppy at times.
Was the plan to play those regulars 3 series, or just did you want to see how it went on offense?
Well, look, I mean, I think we went into this game saying, we wanted to get our ones probably, quarter and a half, 15 plays, somewhere in that vicinity. When we went on the long drive offensively, I was like, let's just keep them in there and let's finish this drive, and then once we were able to finish the drive and get the touchdown, I'd seen enough of the, first wave of guys.
How much did the joint practices being canceled affect your decision on? Would you have played them even if you had the joint practices? Or did that change?
Well, look, I mean, obviously that's a hypothetical question, so I don't really know. I think you go into all these games, and it's really based on what I feel like we need, and certainly I felt like where we were, that our guys needed to go in and play in a game-like situation. And so we played them. And the plan was to play them quarter and a half, 15 plays, somewhere in there. I don't remember what the final numbers came out to be, but that was kind of the thought process going in. And look, we'll go through the practices this week, and somewhere around, towards the end of the week, we'll make a decision on, who and how much we want to play in this final preseason game.
And I know it's, again, not looking at the film, but is Rico Payton kind of helping his cause maybe a little bit?
I thought he did some really good things. They tested him, threw the ball down the field on him, several times. So, I think he's done some good things.
Yeah, you getting a feel for your team? I mean, do you have a feel for your team at this point?
Yeah, I got a better feel for him, and yet, I don't think the final verdict's out yet in terms of what we got, or what we're going to be. I know what we're building towards, and I like a lot of the things that I see. I like a lot of things that I'm feeling from our group. And yet there's some things that I think we still got to improve on.
You mentioned hear about, getting away and the bonding that occurs between a team when you're kind of in these sequestered situations, be at the end of the trip. Do you feel like that's happened to the level you'd hoped it would?
Yeah, look, it's been good. It's been really good. I think we got a close team. I think we got a close group. So I like that part of, where we're at.
You mentioned the starting position that the 49ers had. What'd you kind of make of the punting game tonight?
I think they won the punting battle. I think they did a better job of, pinning us down than we were able to do. So that's what I thought. All right, all good. Thanks.
You might call me Santa friend, but I'm the cleanup man.
He'll sweep your girlfriend off her feet. The reason I know so much about him is because he's moved up an old girl of mine.
Swept her right off her feet and into the jag.
Oh, yeah. Now go on. You take care of the cake. You possum puss, get that punch out there or you'll get one from me. Go on.
All right. All right. Can y'all hear? Put one in the chat if y'all can hear me. One in the chat. All right, cool. Y'all can hear. All right, fine. All right. Appreciate that, fam. I don't know what that was. It's a software issue, but it's good. But much love to y'all. Appreciate y'all being. So like I said, welcome, 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 y'all. Now rocking with the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys, where we have intense, entertaining, educating, and enlightening sport talk from your favorite sports fam. And every now and again, we might have a hiccup with the software and that kind of garbage. So that happens every now and again. So appreciate y'all for letting me know. Shout out to you guys. Appreciate you giving me the microphone check. All right. So big ups to the fam, man. We up in this thing, man. Listen, we're going to do a recap. Then we're going to open up the phone lines for the family members to chime in with their thoughts about what happened with the black and gold, man. Listen, man, all I can tell you is that the Saints had several opportunities to actually win this game. The defense did a pretty decent job of holding the 49ers offense down to field goals. The touchdown off the broken tackle, Jordan Howden missed near the goal line. You know, there were a lot of things to talk about in this game. I had a list of things, but I've seen a very good article that I'm going to go over from Saints News Network, Hendricks, that pretty much covered everything that I was going to say. So we're going to make that show that kind of article. But like I said, the Saints had an opportunity to win this game toward the back. Jake Hayner had an opportunity to fire a ball in there, and he threw it at the back of the defender. He should have. I don't know why he didn't put it up higher. You got a 6'4" wide receiver with jumping ability. Put that goddamn ball up high. Let him go. Give him an opportunity to get it. Threw it too low and in the back of the defender, and you know he had a chance to kind of play hero, and he couldn't seize the day. So we got a poll up, family, that I made that's in the chat right now for the family members that's chiming in. Who do you think is in the lead for the second string QB spot, Hayner or Rattler? Right now, out of the 50 plus family members that's polled, it's saying 58% of them are saying Rattler's in the head versus Hayner's 43%. Now it's increased to 50. So it's 57 versus 42% now in favor of Spencer Rattler. So as you guys, if you hadn't had an opportunity to chime in, please chime in that poll, man, and let me know who you think which one of these guys are in the lead. You know, Rattler didn't have a great game last night. Neither did Jake Hayner. Jake Hayner could have had an opportunity to kind of put himself ahead right here to make something happen with a touchdown drive situation, and he didn't really seize the day. But a lot of other great stuff to talk about, man, in this game. So let's kind of go right into the article, if you please. Shout out to everybody, man. Appreciate y'all being in the stream. I see everybody, man. Much love to all of the fam. Appreciate y'all. Big Sean, Brian's Power Guard, CB Allen. Big ups to you, Ronnie. I see you, brother Ronnie. OG Jarrett, Pelicans, Nola, bro. Trey, what's up, Trey? Son of Trey. Shout out to you, brother Joseph Billings as well. TJ Scottzilla. All right. What's up, Brian? Shout out to you, Beverly. Big ups to the queens that's in here. Who that daddy as well. Big ups to you, brother Claude, DJ Twigger, brother Tedra's in this thing. All right. What's up, Abby? How you doing, fam? Appreciate you as well. Good to see you in the building. L-Dub, what's popping, fam? Good to see you, Dana. Shout out to you. Good to see you. Big ups to everybody. What's up, brother Hakeem? What's happening, my brother? How you doing, sir? All right. Big ups, man. All right. And everybody else, I see. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'll talk that shit down. I keep that thing on me. What's up, Mickey? Shout out to Slick Mickey Loomis. Slick Mickey in the building. All right. What's up, Hopper? Good to see you, man. Rose City's in this thing as well. Big ups to everybody, man. Good to see everybody in here representing the mighty Who Dat Nation in the great Saint Tank. Poppy 504 Booker. I see you, fam. Michael. Much love, everybody. JT, big ups to you, my brother. 985 live in the building. 985J is in the building as well. And Scoob, big ups to my brother Scoob. What it do, pimpin'? Shout out to you, brother. Good to see you as well. Much love to everybody, man. You know, I always got to give my shout outs. Acharimo, what's up, fam? Good to see you as well. Brother Charles is in this thing. Black Major, big ups to all y'all, man. Appreciate y'all. I got to give my shout out to the family members because you guys taking your valuable time to kick it with your boy, man. The very least I can do is to acknowledge the fact that your valuable time with us here talking about a team we love so much, right? All right, let's hit this, man. Shout out to the Saints News Network. Much love to those brothers over there doing their damn thing as well. Big ups. And this is a really good article right here that John Hendricks laid out there. Shout out to brother Kyle T. Mosley, brother Bob doing their thing. Another good one. Preseason insight. What did we learn about the Saints? The Saints didn't win, but that's not always everything in preseason. Here's some of the biggest things that we learned about New Orleans from their game against the 49ers. And a lot of this I definitely concur with. The Saints wrapped up their time in California, also week 2 of the preseason after taking on the 49ers Sunday evening. The team ultimately lost 16-10, but it gave us some really good insight as we get closer to the regular season. Here's some more things we learned about the black and gold. The run game can be the Saints' offense's friend. Yes, indeed. And it is the major component in which how the New Orleans Saints are going to do anything. I've been saying that. I've been very consistent about this over and over again. If there is a playoff trip in the future for the New Orleans Saints, it has to be on the beautiful golden brick road known as the running attack. It has to be. It cannot be Derek Carr leading the offense because he simply does not know enough of this offense to do it. Now, that's not saying that Derek Carr, it's a small percentage that Derek Carr can pick up the offense. Last year, he took a long time to do it. He was dealing with a lot of stuff. Maybe is that the same situation this year? I mean, the guy is used to change and adjusting, picking up 7 or 8 offensive systems in 11 years of his career. So he's definitely used to adapting. But how fast and how well he adapts is yet to be determined. It could be like it was last year, or it can be shorter. We don't know. But what we do know is that if we're going to have success, it has to be through the running attack with play action Carr in tow. That is what I do know. Play action. There you go, CB Allen. Play action Carr. That's who you need. That's who you want. Anybody else, you asking for trouble. Just being honest with you. All right, let's delve back into it. The Saints maintain the importance of being able to run the football first under Clint Kubiak's offense. They put out there on their touchdown drive. It went 95 yards. It took 16 plays, and 8 of them were runs that resulted in 49 yards on the ground. Jamal Williams looked really good out there. And the better news is that the offensive line was putting in work. It might not have been the first defense for the 49ers, but it's a start for New Orleans, right? Like we said, that's a big part of it. That is a major part of it. The running attack is what we need. No doubt about it. And I got another article I'm going to share with you about NFL team priorities that came by Bleacher Report, I think it was, that somebody sent me, and I just wanted to comment on it, and I'll do that after I finish this article. Trevor Penning held up fine. This is another point of contention in the Who Dat Nation is the New Orleans Saints offensive line. Trevor Penning at right tackle got a lot of reps yesterday, and he held up fine under pressure. So a lot of people have been really aiming at Trevor Penning, and rightfully so, because he on tape looks like he is suffering from a lot of mental issues, confidence issues, forgetting his technique and all this kind of stuff that you go back in his college film, like, bro, you did that. Why aren't you doing it? So a lot of stuff he struggled with. But guess what? In this game, he actually did really well. He had a few things that happened early on, but then he synced in, and then he was all good. So, and the why I got to give Trevor Penning, some, and I'm gonna clap it up for him now. I'm gonna clap it up. I'm gonna clap it up for Trevor Penning because he did that under pressure with everybody looking at him, everybody on his back, everybody. He was so bad. He was just a drain hole of just horrorness. It was just horrible. But at the end of the day, despite all of the attention that was on him to see if he could turn it around, the pressure of the Saints, if he had failed, then they could have set him down and went to somebody else. Everything, the whole world in terms of Trevor Penning could have changed via what happened yesterday based on his performance. And he had a very respectable performance under pressure. Despite everything that was going on, under pressure. That's a big thing. Not just doing it but under pressure, he performed. That is a check mark. That's a check mark, which shows something here, some toughness here. A light went on to fight through. So I got to give a young kid a shout out on that. One of the biggest things I wanted to see going into this game was Trevor Penning, what he would do. I suggested 20 to 30 snaps or even possibly the whole game's worth of action. He ended up getting 32 snaps on Sunday. Now, yes, Penning did go up against the top tier defensive line of the 49ers, but you also have to start somewhere to build confidence and hopefully move forward from there. The main takeaway is that you would be encouraged by his outing. Indeed, you get your reps where you get your reps. You can't control who the 49ers are going to send at you. You just have to do your job. That's what it laid. And he did it. He did a good job. So shout out to him. No one distanced themselves in the backup QB competition. Let's look at that. Jake Haener had a great week of practice while Spencer Rattler struggled a little coming off this thigh contusion he had. Rattler got his second team rep like we thought, and it was tough out there for him. Haener also struggled being on some of these throws early and almost throwing a pick in the process. I remember that coming out there early, almost threw a pick. If that DB had his head on a swivel, he would have had an easier interception because it hit him right in his hands. He just wasn't paying attention. He had a chance to put a bow in the game with the final drive, but came up just short. Like Dennis Allen said, there was some good and some bad with each. The job is still Haener's, but no one has pulled away or made movement based on Sunday night. So like I said, I got the poll question up. And right now, unbelievably, it's 50% between both of them. We still got a lot of the people to vote, but right now, 70 plus votes has it at a perfect 50-50 mix right now in the chat as we speak. So what's interesting is Jake Haener could have had put some, he could have maybe inched ahead of the competition right there with a solid performance because Spencer Rattler's performance yesterday was a rookie performance. He looked like a rookie, like what he's supposed to look like. He struggled. He got knocked around in there. He fumbled the ball. He gathered a fumble, almost got injured the way he fell. The guy fell on it, almost ended bad. The way he is. And he kind of popped up at the guy, rolled over him on him. He popped up kind of really oddly, but they determined that he was all right. But Jake Haener, that touchdown there at the back end, potential touchdown when he's supposed to find A.T. Perry, or that would have definitely helped. So you just leave that where it is. The injury bug was contagious for the Saints. So yeah, we had to deal with some injury situation. It wasn't a good sign seeing Dalen Hawker and Kevin Rader getting hurt in warm-ups before anything actually happened. Hawker hurt his ankle and was unavailable, which was a major bummer. Doesn't sound like it's anything serious. That's a positive. However, it wasn't the only player to get hurt. Second-round pick Kool-Aid McKinstry hurt his knee, and it appears that a major injury was avoided. Kool-Aid is okay. We'll see how it affects his timetable, but nothing serious, which is a lot of injuries happen, a lot of stuff, but nothing serious is the key phrase there. Nothing serious. Other players who popped into the tent, including Cesar Ruiz, Tyrann Mathieu, and Christian Boyd. Boyd is fine, as well as Ruiz and Tyrann Mathieu. However, it's not exactly ideal seeing who the key players getting hurt at this stage of the preseason. Sincere Haynesworth suffered an MCL sprain John says he was told that he got the news. He tried to go back in and wanted to play. Now, Rico Payton also got hurt during the game, but he said he's good to go after further imaging. So that's good. Rico Payton's really been balling. New Orleans was already down on plenty of players. And so we'll see if getting back home brings some of them back into the mix and who might join the list. So one preseason game remaining against the Tennessee Titans. More than likely, you won't see any starters. Maybe you'll see Trevor Penning get in there and get some reps because I would put Penning in there for us. Let him get some snaps in there. Every little bit helps. You don't need a 2-week gap between if he doesn't play next week against the Titans and then the following week is, that's another week before you get to the first week of football, which is the 8th, I want to say, of September. So that's quite a distance for Penning not to get any reps. If I'm the Saints, I'm putting Penning in there. Let him get those reps. I'm letting him get at least 2 halves worth of reps. That's what I mean. 2 quarters worth of reps is what I'm looking at. So we'll see how they do. In terms of the quick hits, you didn't see the whole version of the Saints offense on Sunday, but you saw some bits and pieces to it. For instance, it's the usage of Taysom Hill, the impact he will have his season is something we've seen all training camp. So yes, the Taysom Hill thing, we've seen him at the fullback role. We've seen the Saints give him the ball for the only touchdown. And that's what we was talking about in Trevor Penning. And not Trevor Penning, Taysom Hill, what he was supposed to do in terms of the fullback, the Kyle Juszczyk role that we wanted to see Taysom Hill in, because Like I told you, I mean, he can be a better, and this is a big statement, but he can be a better Kyle Juszczyk than Kyle Juszczyk. Kyle Juszczyk is not running around people like Taysom Hill is. Taysom Hill was in there blocking. He carries the ball well. He can catch the ball out the backfield. He's what I call him, a MMN, a mismatch nightmare. That's what we call that, man. A mismatch nightmare. So is Elvin Kamara. So is Chris Olave. So is Rashid Shaheed. Saints have several of them there that are incredibly difficult to stop, especially if you have an imagination and know how to mix them up, because most of these guys can be used all over the damn field. And that's a problem. Moving them around and create mismatches, that's a part of the game. If you can find mismatches and take advantage of it, the Saints so fortunate and blessed that they have several of them in the same offense. They just have to have the discipline, overall, the intelligence and imagination to be able to get the most out of their mismatch nightmare players. So love that Taysom Hill thing. Thought Jordan Mims did a nice job overall. He did. It's going to be fascinating to see whether or not Kendre Miller makes it back on the field and how much time he will have to try to make the final roster. Now, listen, Kendre Miller is not going anywhere, okay? Kendre Miller, if he's hurt and he can't go, then pretty much you know what that means. Then they have. But like I was telling people before, people's like, Q, I don't like our running back room. And I kept telling people the same damn thing. That the running back room is fine. It's one of the best rooms that you have. It's one of the best on offense that you have. Probably the most stablest room that you have on the offense is the running back room. I wouldn't touch not one person in that running back room. Leave them alone, because you're going to need every bit of it to carry this team forward. So that Jordan Mims is excellent. If Kendre Miller can't go and he needs more time to rehab, that's fine. We'll sit him down for a little bit. We got somebody to take it. James Robinson was running real good. Even Jacob Kubota was running real good. The North-South runner from Louisiana, he was doing good. He was doing good. I love the running back room we have. Very solid. All right, Rico Payton has been steadily emerging after a tough start to camp. He's easily one of the most improved players and has put together 2 really strong outings. He's one to watch. I think I seen somebody sent me something on Twitter with a statistic saying Rico Payton is the most tested cornerback right now through 2 games in the preseason, and he's doing pretty good. When I seen Rico Payton could play. We see all these other guys, and we talked about the young cornerbacks behind Kool-Aid McKinstry. If injury hits the Saints secondary, what happens? What goes on? If injuries start to affect the Saints cornerback room, what happens there? We know what Laddie Daddy could do. We know what Paulson Debo can do. We know what Lontae Taylor. We know Kool-Aid McKinstry is a young future star in the making. We know he got the it factor, but what if something happens where you needed somebody else behind him? And Rico Payton says, hey, man, here I am. He is definitely a person that should make this team. We'll see over who. But like I said, a lot of people say, yeah, this, that, and the third, but I've been saying this for a while. It's all under Dennis Allen over the last couple of years. There's always a silly ass 53-man roster pick or two that don't make any sense. And we've seen it over the last couple of years, so I'm not expecting him to change that. There will be 1 or 2 moves that you don't agree upon here for the black and gold. It happened. It happened last year. It happened a year before. So but Rico Payton's making a strong case. And fundamentally speaking, if you have guys that do what they're supposed to do, they're supposed to make the team. That don't always happen here. All right. And then, of course, he said what's really disappointing in is seeing Isaiah Foskey make some plays and also Peyton Turner. The only Turner stepping up, the only Peyton is doing anything is Rico, because Peyton Turner ain't doing shit. He swapped at the quarterback, and I don't know how he missed him. I don't know how he did that. That was just crazy. Isaiah Foskey was running around there with his head like a chicken with his head cut off. They didn't really impress me with their play yesterday. Saints need those 2, and it just wasn't their night. Both of them looked not good. But guess what? They're not going anywhere. They know those guys are not going anywhere. They're positioned right where they're supposed to be, and the Saints going to keep that lineup of Chase Young, who looked good, Carl Granderson, Cam Jordan, who played pretty well in the reps that he got, and of course Peyton Turner and Isaiah Foskey, the snowman, the Foskey, the slow man, Foskey, the no man, whatever you guys were calling him yesterday during the live call-in stream is respected, just to be honest with you, until he steps it up. Chase Young is a beast and might be one of the best pickups in years if this keeps up, and that's one of the things we called on It's like the Saints got him for $12 million. It was a gamble because it was surgery involving his neck, which was tied to his back, which is a certain song I remember back in the day that I care not to repeat right now. But as we move forward, Chase Young, and we said this before, is that, and I think this was a past poll question at some point a few shows ago, we talked about if Chase Young is healthy, who is better, Chase Young or Carl Granderson? You know, who's better? Matter of fact, give me a second. I'm going to put that poll question back up there. All right, we're going to end this poll right here, but it was a close one. This was a good one here, fam. Who do you think is in the lead for the second string QB spot? Is it Jake Haener or Spencer Rattler? Man, the Who Dat Nation, 52% for Rattler and 48% for Jake Haener. Boy, that is close. That's one of the closest polls that I've seen we've had here in a while. Most of the other polls were just blowouts. All right, so hold on. Let me put this poll up. Give me just a second, fam. How can I phrase this? Oh, hold on. I just got to. All right. Let's see. All right, hold on. Here we go, fam. Let me put that poll up there. Let y'all answer that. There it is. Is Chase Young better than Carl Granderson? A healthy Chase Young. Is a healthy Chase Young better than Carl Granderson? No disrespect to Carl Granderson, but that's the question. Is he better? Y'all give me, while I'm going over the rest of this stuff, y'all let me know. All right, going back to this Chase and about the Chase Young thing, looking really good. And him and Carl Granderson is going to be an absolutely fantastic pairing because both of the guys have the ability to not only rush the passer, but they play the run really well. If guys try to leak out, they can contain, and the Saints can provide pressure interiorly with their interior defensive tackles or linebackers blitzing gaps to create extra pressure there. So, I mean, like I said, those two guys, there's probably our most athletic tandem defensive end wise since Kerwin, Cam Jordan and Junior Gillette. Probably what I would say most athletic and really fire defensive end combination. So, and we know Carl Granderson is a guy that's still trying to get it together. So, and improve. He had 8-something sacks last year, and Chase Young between two teams had 7.5 sacks last year. So Chase Young's a beast, man. Yeah, I know Beverly said that's a hard one, Q. I know. But see, the thing is, shout out to you too, Bev. This is the thing. A healthy Chase Young. Notice I said healthy. That changes a lot. A healthy Chase Young, is he better than Granderson? Boy, look at that poll right now. 20-something people right now. And boy, they say, yes, it is. 92% of them says a healthy Chase Young is better than Carl Granderson. Fam, that's fantastic. If we can keep that going, man, all season long, yeah, we definitely got a steal on our hands because if he's healthy and the Saints mix in the right rotation of defensive ends, man, that guy's going to get double-digit sacks. I wouldn't be surprised if both of them did. Who you going to block? Chase Young is listed as DE2. Granderson is the premier guy. So whoever Chase is going to meet will be guys that the DE2 usually matches up with. That is a benefit for him, right? If he's better than Granderson, that is a slick side benefit for the Saints defense. All right, really, let's go to the last bullet point. Really solid game from Anthony Orji. Shout out to Anthony Orji, man. He did an excellent job last night. Come on. Man, Anthony Orji was awesome. He was awesome, man. He had a lot of reps in the game. He was the top tackler on the team. Anthony Orji was fantastic. Now, the week before that was Monty Rice. Monty Rice led the team with about 7 tackles. He was balling. This week, it was Anthony Orji. He did a wonderful job. Khaliki Hudson was out there doing this thing, played well. He played I think it was the tight end or wide receiver. I forgot what the guy was, but he chased him down the field, showed his speed and coverage, and was able to kind of throw a hand at him to make sure that catch that went down to the goal line didn't happen. So Kaliki Hudson showing some speed right there as well. So he's balling. So we have some young, and DeMarco Jackson had a few good plays too. But the Saints, man, really impressed with some of our young linebackers that I've seen over the last 2 weeks. Anthony Orji solid. Monty Rice looked good. Kaliki Hudson played really well. Saints have a good, interesting situation with our young linebackers coming up, man. We could have waited on that Pete Werner thing. We didn't have to jump off the bridge right away on that. All right. So anyway, let's keep it moving. Let's go to the next article right here. And this is an article from Bleacher Report from their scouting department that says this is what they believe as NFL teams needs, prioritizing every roster's biggest weaknesses after preseason week number 2. This is what they had to say about our New Orleans Saints and what we need to do in terms of picking up and add some people to our situation. So let me see if I can get on down past the rest of these garbage ass teams and get to our squad, the only squad in the whole world that matters, baby. If we're talking pro football. All right. So anyway, yeah, we have quite a bit of things to do. Let's see if we agree, fam. Let's dissect this article right here and see exactly what they're saying and how we feel. Now, we know probably it's going to be something thrown at the offense. That's probably what it's going to be. Something thrown in terms of the offensive line. I wouldn't be surprised. So, all right. That's the Patriots. Next one more. There we go. All right. We finally made it. All right. So New Orleans Saints right there. You see that? All right. So that's Anthony Orji. He's showing him right there. And Orji balling, man. Second-year linebacker Anthony Orji had an impressive performance against the 49ers this weekend. He led the Saints with 8 tackles, including 1 for a loss and a couple of pass defense. With Pete Werner signing a contract extension recently, the future of New Orleans linebacker core looks like this. Looks bright. Biggest weakness in terms of the Saints, the offensive tackle position, left guard, offensive tackle, left guard, defensive tackle, free safety, and nickelback. I don't know where they're coming up with this shit. I guess they just had to throw something out there. Adding now Lawrence Guy, defensive tackle. Saints are thin and pretty young at the defensive tackle with second-year pro Brian Bresee and rookie sixth-round pick Chris Boyd, serving as the primary backups, Christian Boyd. So adding a well-tenured veteran-like guy as a depth piece or an insurance policy wouldn't be a bad idea. So he could be another mentor for Bresee and Boyd. Free agents, you can go with it. Talking about free agency, Jarrett, Jedrick Willis from the Browns, with Ryan Ramczyk's future in doubt after his injury, and Trevor Penning's issues in pass protection. New Orleans might be in the market for an offensive tackle this offseason. And they're saying this would be a good target since he has experience playing at the left side in the pros and was a right tackle in college. Plus, the Alabama product doesn't turn 26 until May, so he might inject some youth into the team's aging roster. Then they go into the draft and talk about getting Malachi Starks, I guess, from Georgia, and all that kind of nonsense. So anyway, it's just a little future take there, but let's kind of look at some of these biggest weaknesses that they're talking about in the Saints. Yeah, I definitely think offensive tackle should be something they look at, especially in free agency. They need a experienced guard, and the Saints could wait on that right now until right after the third preseason game when guys start getting cut, and then they'll probably find somebody that they can claim or try to attempt to sign to bring on to the team to act as a veteran presence at the tackle position in case of Penning. Like if injuries still affect the team, whether Penning takes the job or not, you still need a veteran guard there a veteran tackle that can do the things to kind of help out there in the interim. The left guard position is definitely a position that we talked about all along. I call them the crew of misfits is what I call those guards, all those different guards. We've seen Shane Lemieux get some reps at the center position. He snapped the ball off his leg. It almost got Spencer Rattler killed. But the thing that's really interesting, man, is we still don't know what's going on. We talk a lot about the offense. They talk about offense tackle. He's talking about Trevor Penning, but left guard. But like I said, Penning's been so bad that he's pulled the attention away from the other positions that need to be focused on. The left guard position is something, but that's still up in the air. Nick Saldiveri is not healthy. He was supposed to be the guy. He can't be relied upon. Last year he was hurt. This year he's hurt, so he can't be relied upon until he gives an extended amount of time to show that he can stay healthy and command the position. Lucas Patrick is a journeyman guard there. It appears like he's the one that's leading the rest of the crew of misfits. You got Ali Udo you can throw in there. Really, it's just like I said, it's truly a crew of misfits at the left guard position. We don't know who it is. It's a bunch of inexperienced. Well, some of them experienced, but it's cheap help there at the guard position. And the Saints will I guess whoever the best one that stands out. And right now it appears Lucas Patrick is the guy that's standing out at the left guard position. So we'll just monitor that. The defensive tackle position. I think the Saints feel comfortable with that. Brian Bresee is a solid guy. We looking for him to take the next step into being a starter, making that move to claim that starter position at the next ring of it. And then of course you have Christian Boyd, who was banged up but is okay. Christian Boyd has been solid in training camp. He's been very solid. He's 6'2", 320 pounds. I want to say the guy is 320, 315, something like that. But Christian Boyd is solid. His specialty is run stuffing. He does that. He also has a degree of agility to him. He can move for a big old guy like that. But also behind that, like if you look behind, if you have Kalen Saunders, Nate Shepard, Brian Bresee, and Christian Boyd, who's the defensive tackle is Jack Heflin, and those are only two. So do the Saints say, hey man, we're gonna go into free agency and go see if we can find a veteran guard to kind of help out? They make mention of Lawrence Guy. I don't know if the Saints do that. I think if they feel like they need a fifth interior defensive tackle, I think either Vickers has played well enough to kind of tip his hat. And I like Jack Heflin. I really like Jack Heflin a lot. Jack Heflin can play. He really can. I've been talking about Jack. I like Nico Lalos too. I like Nico Lalos and Jack Heflin. Those guys are football players. They can play. They just don't have a big name. But you put them out there, them guys make plays. So that's interesting. Then they talk about the free safety position. I don't see that. I think the secondary is a top 5 secondary right now when healthy. Playing at their best as a top 3 safety, secondary. Now, people was talking about the Justin Simmons thing. We missed out on Justin Simmons, and he ended up going to the Atlanta Falcon people. And I was like, it's all right. It's trust me, it's okay. Okay, it'll be all right. All right. Justin Simmons and Jesse Bates, they make a nice combination there as well, and that's cool for Atlanta. But at the end of the day, I like our secondary too. Now, does Simmons make our secondary the number 1 secondary in the NFL? Yeah, he would have. But once again, the Saints are a team that's supposed to be dealing with cap issues, and all of these decisions are supposed to be based on that. It's supposed to be based on cap situation. It's supposed to be based on the fact that they got less than $12 million right now. Mickey Loomis is not supposed to be kicking the can for this year and next year. He's supposed to be disciplined in his approach to contract signing. He wasn't that with the signing of Pete Werner. You could have waited on Pete Werner, let Willie and him compete, and then the winner of the competition get the contract. Are you going to just award it to Pete Werner? What if Willie beats Pete Werner out and pushes him to the third? And you know Willie Gay going to play on the field. He's going to be out there next to DeMario Davis because Pete Werner doesn't cover tight ends, especially athletic ones good. You need Willie Gay out there. So like I said, I don't know what's going on with the priority or what's the term? When you have, like we're saying, for my people that's good with money, because a lot of people are not good with money. If you have a certain limited amount of money that you're supposed to work with, you're supposed to see if you can make that dollar stretch. You go into a grocery store, you're not going to go right to the ice cream section and start buying shit. Well, you would hope not. If you got children, if you're living by yourself, you probably can go ahead on and do that. But if you got children, you got a limited amount of money, you're going to the essentials. You're going to get you you're going to get that bread. You're going to get you some meat, turkey meat, whatever you eat, vegetables, fruit, all that kind of stuff. You're going to get stuff where you can make meals that stretch. You know what I'm talking about. You're going to buy some beans. You're going to buy, you see what I'm saying? Y'all know who I'm talking. Y'all know what you're going to do. My experienced folks out there know how to make a dollar stretch. They know how to buy certain foods and make multiple meals, such and such. But that is not the case with Mickey Loomis. He doesn't have any spending discipline. He really don't. And this is an attempt to try to show that he's going to be very disciplined with his spending habits, which doesn't make any sense. There's no priority in none of this. Don't bring Willie Gay here to compete with Pete Werner and then give Pete Werner the contract before the regular season even get here. So, I mean, it doesn't make any sense. Especially if Willie Gay outplays him, then you're really looking at something, aren't you? You're really looking at something, aren't you? Because that man here for a reason, because they brung Willie Gay in here because he's faster than Pete Werner. They need that blitzing linebacker to get there and to cover them goddamn tight ends. To get to those mobile quarterbacks and neutralize the threat. That's why I'm saying Chase Young, Carl Granderson, Willie Gay makes the Saints defense fast. It basically fixes and repairs the Achilles heel in terms of mobile quarterbacks killing the Saints and tight ends that whip the Saints ass, like the guy from what's his name, man? I keep forgetting the man. The dude from Detroit, the dude from Minnesota. These guys here, they tear the Saints up because the Saints have a difficulty covering the athletic tight end. Willie Gay's brung here to neutralize that. So that's on him. But in the end, like I said, man, that shouldn't have been something. They deserve all the press from what happened with the Justin Simmons situation because they shouldn't even brung him down here. You didn't have the money to sign him. People signed him a 1-year deal, $8 million. And guess what? Atlanta didn't have the money either. Was when they were looking at him before they signed him, I went and looked up their cap situation. Them people had $3.3 million on the cap. They had to rework their salary. They had to rework some deals to get stuff done because they traded for Judon at the time prior to signing Justin Simmons. So they had to rework some stuff, and then they gave him $8 million with 7.5 of it guaranteed, which basically works out to almost half of what he made last year, which was what, $14-15 million is what he was making. So in the end, it wasn't about years as it was being reported upon. It was about money, which is what I said, just that Justin Simmons likes money. He doesn't like to work cheap. And the Saints probably offered him a 1-year deal at probably $2 or $3 million less than that. But the point is, we didn't need to go and pull Bates down. I keep saying Bates, Simmons. We didn't need to bring him down here. If you want to bring somebody down here, bring somebody down here that fits a need. You need help on the left guard. How about that? You need some depth at the right tackle position if injuries hit. How about there? You see what I'm getting at? There are other more important parts of the team that could really use that type of attention as opposed to a luxury player to make you go from a 5 or third top secondary in the league to a number 1 secondary. I'm good with my secondary. Let's just see if we can get some help on the offensive side of the ball. Because if we don't move the ball the defense don't matter if you can't score. If you can't score and move the ball, that doesn't matter. If you can't score and move the damn ball and they can, your defense is going to get wore down just like they did last year when they start running on them and they start giving up 119 yards a game. So, it's just, that's what I'm saying. The priority of what are we doing with this? What's the priority? What's the common sense moves here? You got Elvin Kamara up here with his hand out. Where's the priority? Number 1 player in my offense looking for a contract extension. Okay. Now how about the second player? How about Paulson Adebo? He got a contract coming up. So, it's just, I don't know what these guys are doing. I can't say nothing about Mickey. All right. Then, of course, I don't agree about the free safety position. I think we're good. The nickelback situation with Alontae Taylor is fine. I don't know what these idiots are talking about, this nickelback shit. That was just something he threw up there. So, the nickelback position is fine. We good there. Alontae Taylor was in a sophomore year last year. He will have a similar season as what Paulson Debo had here. I like Alontae Taylor. He's smart, disciplined, and he's tough. Mentally tough, and he will be fine at the nickel position. All right. Yes. I got you, Charles. I hear you, brother. I hear you. All right, fam. We're going to get ready to open up the lines, man. Charles said, Q, I already told you why they gave that man that money. I hear you, brother. I hear you. Yeah, there you go. Thank you, Roy. Is Hawkinson. And what's the dude from Detroit? I keep forgetting the dude from Detroit, y'all. Put in the chat who the damn dude is from Detroit. LaCondra? I can't. Lasorda? What's the man name from Detroit? I always forget the man name. Y'all help me out on that. I always forget his damn name. I don't know why I do that. Can't remember his damn name for nothing. All right. Yeah, Laporta. There you go. Oh, man. Damn. Why can't I remember Laporta? What's going on with me? All right, T Dirty says when you're spending somebody else's money, Q, sky's the limit. Buy whatever you need, baby. I hear you. Thank you. What's up, T Dirty? How you doing, man? All right. Yeah. Mick says, Judon wants. Oh, he wants a new contract too. Okay. Yeah. There you go. Laporta. Thank you, Deuce. Appreciate you, man. All right. L-Dub says Laporta. Y'all know y'all already put it in there before I even asked y'all because y'all know I always forget. Laporta must be French for throw the Saints in the trash can. That's what Laporta must mean. The porta means porta potty, which means the crapper. La means the crapper. That's what it means when the Saints play the Laporta. Laporta means Laporta potty. And y'all can see my Spanish is very bad here, so y'all just have to work with me. All right, here. Okay, what's up, Will? Shout out to you. Yeah, I always forget that. All right, but I guarantee you now, I remember it now. What I just did, I put La Porta Potty. Yeah, I remember that shit then. I remember that. All right, I guarantee you, I remember it now. All right, anyway, man, let's. Yeah, because Laporta is French for the Saints look trash against the Lions when he's out there. That dude cut the Saints up something fierce. He almost did it by himself. The guy was fantastic. I was like, who the hell is this guy? He was awesome, man. That guy was terrific, man. He was absolutely terrific, man. He was awesome in that damn game, man. All right, so fam, anyway, let me get ready to see if I can do this. I'm going to open up the phone lines right here, fam. Give me a second. Let me see if I can get this stuff to work on my stuff here. So y'all give me a moment here. I haven't used this system in a while. Let me see if I can get it going. The information, fam, I think is, let me see. All right, am I back on? Put one in the chat if you're okay. Y'all can't hear. All right, they're saying they can't hear. Okay, I hear you. Can't hear. All right. Hold on just 1 second, fam. All right. Okay, y'all can hear me now. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's what it is, fam. That's that whatchamacallit. So we're gonna have to hold out on that because it keeps cutting off. I don't know why is it doing that. I'm gonna have to work on that. Will says here Laporta means Saints mutes propaganda. It mutes Saint propaganda. Okay, I hear you. All right. So anyway, fam, so we don't have to do that, man. I'm gonna have to work on that and test that a little bit more. Yeah, it cuts your mic off. So hold on. I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna just have to do it for the right way for right now until we get it right. Here, I'm gonna put the link in the chat right there for the family members to chime in. So y'all can feel for you to kind of hit that link and chime in. And tonight we'll open up the phone line so we can hear from you guys. Let me know how y'all feel about the black and gold, baby. What's up, Bird Talk? Shout out to Bird Talk, man. What's popping, fam? How you doing, brother? Good to see you over here, man. Much love. All right, big ups, fam. All right. All right, T. Okay, thank you, T Dirty. All right, Brian. It should be good now, brother. You should be able to hear me now. All right. Yeah. Okay, see, you good now. Okay, cool. All right. So yeah. Anyway, the link's in the chat, man. So y'all can pop in. We'll run it until right about 9 o'clock or something. Then we'll cut it off. We got a Pelican post game report that'll be popping up later on tonight for the family members. They'll be talking about Zion Williamson, DC Lex. They'll be in the building breaking it down. All right. So y'all can pop in if you want to. That is the link right there. Let me pin that link. Matter of fact, pin the link pin to the chat. All right. Looking at the wow, that poll I put up with, is Chase Young better than Carl Granderson? A healthy Chase Young, is he better than Carl Granderson? It says 89% of the people says yes. And Chase Young is DE2. Granderson's DE1. Should be able to do something with that. We should be all right. We should be able to do something about that. I think we should be able to do something about that. Don't you think, fam? We should be able to do something about that. Take advantage of the fact that Granderson is DE1, Chase is DE2. We should be able to do something about that. And by the way, fam, I've been hearing a lot of stuff about people talking about, people kind of upset that the Falcons, what they're doing. I'm not upset about the Falcons doing what they do. Just because you acquire players don't mean that you're going to do a damn thing with them. Did you get that? You listen, you can get all the players you want. That don't mean you're going to do something with them. You understand what I'm talking about? You get what I just said there, baby? Just because you acquire players does not mean that you know what to do with said players, that they're going to have success in your system, or that they'll be healthy, because sometimes things happen. Shit happens. People get hurt. Sometimes people don't fit in the systems like they wanted to. Remember, it happened when we first got Tyrann Mathieu. Tyrann Mathieu had a bit of a learning curve. Remember in that first year? I mean, he started getting better later on in the year, but he looked kind of rough early on. Y'all remember? Put one in the chat if y'all remember that. Remember when we first got him in here, they were doing that. We were talking about how he looked. It's like, how long you think Tyrann Mathieu's gone? I was like, Tyrann Mathieu's been around the block. He should be able to pick some of this stuff up. But at first it looked a little rough. But eventually he did. He looked pretty basic as hell. I'm gonna be honest with you, fam. He looked pretty basic. And then ultimately later on he started picking it up. Stuff. That's what I'm saying. It's not always plug and play with some of these guys. It takes a while. It takes a while for some of these people to get their stuff together. So just because you picked up Simmons and you got Bates there, Bates is good, don't mean we got to throw pick sixes at him. Just because they got Simmons and Bates back there. I mean, there are other players, man. But listen, like I said, man, what it comes down to is that the Atlanta Falcons, let's keep it a buck. I see you, Trey. We're gonna bring Trey in just a second. Like I said, if y'all want to pop in, y'all hit that link. It's pinned to the chat. Like I said, for some of the family members in the back, the Falcons have Saint leadership there. Terry Fontenot, and he picked up people from the Saints organization to bring them there to help them win. So why are we acting like that? Well, Atlanta mean business. Yeah, they mean business. They are you. They had to mimic you to have success. Now, of course, my dog Lowe, shout out to my brother Lowe and the rest of the Falcon family. They don't like to hear that. Of course, they don't want to hear that. That you couldn't do it on your own. So you had to mimic your rival. See, they'll applaud the improvements that the team is making, but they will not applaud the fact that the brain that's pushing it comes from you. See, we call that disassociation. We call that disassociation. We call that disassociation. That's when you disassociate the things that you see, that, and that is also something very simple. It's called being hypocritical. That's also what it is, because you can't take one without the other. That's like one of the ministers out there who don't want to follow the whole Bible. They just pick and choose which pieces they want. Oh yeah, well yeah, baby. I'm just listen here. This, that, and the third. We gonna do this or that, and then pick what he want to pick. It don't work like that, brother. You can't nitpick, and it don't work like that. You can't take this and then cut this off and say, okay, I'm good with this. No, you got to take the whole thing. And that's how people be. That's how they. So when I tell the who that's, I say who that's. Listen, y'all. We said that. I said that when it was going to happen. I said they were going to get better. When they picked up Terry Fontenot, when Fontenot went out there, did I not tell y'all? I said Terry Fontenot was going to turn the Falcons around. They're going to be winning. It took them a while because the Falcons weren't that good. They had a few people here, they had a few people there, but they were not a complete team. That's why they didn't have the type of success that they wanted to have. They weren't built correct. They wasn't built right. They were bad built. You see what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, when you start seeing them finally after a culmination of years start to look like they're ready to contend, why are we surprised by that? Why are we surprised by that? We're not. I'm not surprised by that. That the guy running the team is a diehard black and gold man. That man was raised in the Saints building. He's from over here. You don't get any more down black and gold than Terry Fontenot. He playing the game because they paying him. But at the end of the day, those Falcon people, man, the Falcon family members, they will disassociate the hell out of the connection. And then they would simply say, well, people go to teams all the time. Yeah, but how often do you see in a heated rivalry the team that you're saying that you are better than, or that team is inferior? That's what they say about you. Even though you sit up here with a Super Bowl and they don't have nothing but a historical collapses. I ain't trying to beat down or berate my Atlanta Falcon people. I'm just speaking facts. Listen, these are facts. You don't have a Super Bowl ring. We do. Okay. You had some of the more humiliating playoff losses in history. Now, we had a few fumblers and bumblers, but you guys take the cake. So I'm happy. Listen, I know that sounds negative, Falcon people, but I'm very happy for you. I'm so happy for you. Listen, I'm going to give you a round of applause. Listen, Falcon family. Y'all clap it up for the Atlanta Falcon people, because that's you over there. Don't you look in the mirror and you see yourself over there? When you look at the Falcons, it's like looking in the mirror. They got your old name of your building. You get what I'm saying? They got a lot of the old players that used to be black and gold people over there. They got the man running the teams, a black and gold man. You're looking in the mirror. You're looking in the mirror. So why I'm mad at the Falcons when now I call them New Orleans East. So whatever success they have is going to be because of you. It's going to be because of you. And they disassociate the crap out of that. No, oh no. That's wrong. That's terrible. You can't say that. That's not true. We didn't do it. That's wrong. You got to back up from them. You got to walk slowly away from them. You got to take 15 steps from them while you're looking at them and then turn around and leave. That's what they would sit there in a absolute denial of fit. They'll be having a denial fit. They'll be standing and jumping up and down, smashing their own Falcon hat. It's the craziest shit you ever seen in your life. Crazy. But, I'm happy for them. I'm happy because I know where you got your success from. And when they did that, I told them, I said, any success you get is going to be because of us. And I'm going to remind you every step of the way. So at some point, either you do it right or you do it left. It's about you're going to go right or you're going to go left with it, baby. You're going to do it correct or incorrect. That's the rule. So have the Saints been on Saint way? Have they been doing it the saintly way? The correct way? Have the Saints been looking kind of back ass lately with some of these decisions? They got a little overconfident in a lot of these. Mickey Loomis making questionable calls. Can't be criticized. Telling people you're not qualified. You're unqualified. Oh my goodness. You guys, I don't ask you for advice. Oh my God. So, it's like, what are you talking about, bro? So he been sounding like he's a member of the Falcons. Like you see what I'm saying? Almost they're trying to flip flop the roles right here. A bit of identity stealing going on. They're trying to do that. So we fighting against that. Dennis Allen. Remember, Dennis Allen come from out there. Dennis Allen is from over there. I think he born out there. I'm like, man, listen, man. Just send his ass back. But anyway, man, but that's real game, man. That's real talk, man. I'm telling y'all real truth, man. So yeah, of course, if they get the players, that don't mean that the players is going to work. They got to put them together. They got to put them in the system and see if they work. That takes time. So it really comes down the fastest person that can actually get it. And then not only get it, but apply it successfully, going to do it. Now, can the Saints make the playoffs? Well, that's an easy one. People saying, I don't know about the Saints making the playoffs. Somebody sent me something about some guy talking about the Saints was going to win one game. I don't care, man, what these people are talking about, and y'all seen that. Put one in the chat. Y'all seen some idiot talking about the Saints got one game. I cut it off, man. People send me stuff all the time. I'm just not listening to all that garbage out there. They sent out just a few seconds of it and turned it off. And this is what I have to say to the guy that made it.
The problem is you trying to talk with your shit and you don't know nothing instead of listening. Huh?
I'm listening.
Okay? No. I get $40,000, man, and I dare motherfucker to pop.
say that's all I got to say. That's it. That's all I got to say. That's it. That's all I got to say about that. When I hear something stupid like that, that's what y'all gonna hear me play right there. That's it. All right. Anyway, let's bring in Trey. Trey, man, welcome on in the show, brother. Trey, how you doing, man? What's happening, bro? Who that to you?
Oh, what's up, Q? Hold on. Give me 1 second.
Yeah. Shout out to you, man. Man, listen, man, we doing it, man. Y'all hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, man. Feel free to share the show on social media. We up in this thing. We got Trey about to chime in. Listen, fam, y'all want to chime in too? There's a link that's pinned to the top of the chat. Y'all hit that link and y'all can pop on in here. The poll right now has Chase Young, 86% saying they better than Carl Granderson. So that is, kind of common sense. So we're going to let Trey kind of get his stuff together right here. All right, big ups to you guys as well. CJ says, listen, the defensive starter looked great against the 49ers. Thank you, CJ. Shout out to you, brother. Trap star. Yeah, y'all like that, huh? That's what I got to say for all that, man. Isn't that fitting? Isn't that fitting, fam? When y'all heard that, that is what I play. I'm gonna start playing when you hear all that idiot shit because they don't know what they're talking about. I'm gonna play this.
The problem is you trying to talk with your shit and you don't know nothing instead of listening, huh?
I'm listening.
Okay? No. I get $40,000 and I dare motherfucker to pop.
Oh, bro, I be having too much fun. Trey, what's popping, man? What's on your mind, brother?
What's up, Q, man? You know it's the Great Saint Think Tank, the best podcast in the land. You know how we do it.
Shout out,
but
bro.
I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna be quick with it, man. I got a few points that I want to get off. Number one, family. I want y'all to have very little faith in Dennis Allen. Well, I don't want to say it like that, but I want y'all to reserve y'all's faith because Dennis Allen is still the head coach of our team. And his head coaching record seems to be 24-46. I do not want y'all to forget that. I want y'all to have faith in the Saints organization as a whole, not so much Dennis Allen. Number two, this car does not have a steering wheel. Derek Carr does not have a steering wheel, Q. It kills me, bro. We've watched greatness. You know what a great quarterback looks like, Q. Do you see greatness in Derek Carr and the way he moves in that pocket? Do you see that?
I don't see greatness, brother. No, I
Exactly.
Greatness.
There we go. I don't see it either, Q. I thought it was just me, but after seeing this again for the second year in a row, he's not the one. Get him out of here. Spencer Rattler is my QB number one, but he ain't there yet. He got a long way to go, but I do believe he has what it takes to be QB number one in our system. Number three, our offensive line is still terrible. If we don't fix that by game one, it's going to be ugly. Our defense is going to have to carry because our defense is looking phenomenal. Like, I was so impressed by Chase Young. Like, I was not expecting him to look so vicious, so dangerous in the second, really the first game of the preseason for him. But, like, I was loving what I was seeing from our defensive line. It's going to be ugly. And did you see they had Cameron Jordan in the middle? How many times have you called for that, Q? You was calling for that all last year. Can you please put Cameron Jordan on a center or a guard so he can work somebody? And look at that. I was so happy to see Cameron Jordan line up right there that I couldn't. I was so overwhelmed. It was so happy for me to see that. Number four, I think DeMarco Jackson is going to be our dark horse for middle linebacker. He looked fantastic. Along with that new dude that he was like, it was one, I can't remember his name, but he was like guarding the wide receiver on a jump ball, and he just like swatted it with like no trouble. He's a rookie, but he played really good. I like that cornerback. Our cornerback room looks very good. I hope Kool-Aid McKinstry can, I don't know, like not get hurt, and he is a possible replacement for Lattimore. I don't want that to happen. I want to keep everybody. I want to keep Lattimore, Debo, Kool-Aid. I want to keep all that little core together because that's going to be a vicious cornerback room. We do need Free safety, but I'll let it slide because our corners are so good and our D line's gonna be good. And then what else? What else? Oh yeah, our running back. Like we obviously was missing Kamara. Like we need to get this man his money. I don't like paying. I don't think we should have paid Pete Warner. I don't think he's cut like that. He's a great fundamental football player, but he is not Luke Kuechly. If he was Luke Kuechly, I would have no problem paying him his money. But to me, Pete Warner is not cut like that. We should have paid Kamara first and then maybe thought about extending Pete Warner. But that's just me. And then what else? Oh, yeah. Look out for A.T. Perry. I think this is going to be his mega breakout year with Olave being the number one receiver and getting so much attention. That A.T. Perry is going to be cooking some people on the down low. Oh, I meant strong safety. I didn't mean free safety. Tyran's cool. He can play free safety. I meant strong safety. We need to find somebody at the strong safety position. And then I think that's it, Q. I think that's all I had to say about that. I think Cameron Jordan coming off the bench is perfect for us, for him, and where he's at in his career. I love Cameron Jordan to death. He's a Saint, a black and gold man till he's dead and cold too. But he just, Father Time is undefeated. So I think that's a great look. I'm very proud of him stepping down right there and be like, all right, I'm gonna take a back seat and just be a situational pass rusher where I can do my best work. Where he's the greatest is situational pass rusher.
Indeed, absolutely, Trey, man. Appreciate your commentary, brother. Man, listen, man. Always much love.
Oh, and it's Rico Payton. Thank you, chat. Thank you. Yeah. It's Rico Payton. I think Rico Payton got something right there. I think we're cooking with something right there.
Yeah, he was awesome, man. Rico Payton, man. Hopefully the Saints see it. I mean, Anthony Orgy, Rico Payton, some of these guys have done a fantastic job, bro, in making themselves taking advantage of some of these opportunities they're getting, man. So yeah, it's fantastic. DeMarco Jackson has played, but yeah, Anthony Orgy and Rico Payton, those guys are out front looking really good. You know, I was looking behind to see what kind of guy we had. If Kool-Aid, something happens to one of our cornerbacks and guys have to slide up the ladder, who could step in there to make some plays? Rico Payton's been phenomenal. Saints definitely got somebody with that. Anthony Orgy's been fantastic. Monty Rice has been fantastic. Love what these young guys are doing, man. We just got to keep it going, man. We got to recognize, keep these guys on the team. Thank you, Trey. Appreciate you, bro.
Yes, sir. And Derek Carr is not it. I'm sorry I have to keep harping on. He don't got it, bro. Like, I love the look of our offense. It looks like when we actually unlock our playbook for this first game, like we're gonna have something nice under this hood again. But like Derek Carr just don't have the tools to operate it. I'm sorry. Peace out, Q. Who that? And every day, I thank God I'm not a Falcon. Peace out.
Shout out to you, Trey. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you, man. All right, that's brother Trey Joseph, man. Much love to him, man. We got the OG Jarrett coming up next. Shout out to you guys. Please hit the like button, fam. We up in this thing. Talking a bit of the black and gold, man. A few comments here. Brother Wallace says, no, Q, call Metairie. I live in New Orleans. Call Metairie. All right, Tim says Falcons can only celebrate in the preseason. Let them rise up to fall. That's what I told Lo. I said, y'all rise up to go down, to burn down, you know. So, you know, that's part of it, man. Like I said, man, you gotta be a pretty desperate person to go to your rivals, your hated rivals, and take personnel from them. That is really that's a bit of a desperation right there. And then turn around and be proud of it. I mean, it's the craziest thing I've seen in a long time, man. It's like, you're going to beat the Saints with the Saints. Yeah, you kind of mirroring us. The only reason why we got to stay on code because we got off-code coaches. We got an off-code general manager. That's the only thing. It's not the Saints way. You know, a great deal of the Saints way was Sean Payton. What would be the percentage on that when you look at it? I would have to say a great deal of it, not to disparage whatever Mickey Loomis's role was, because he was the gopher. He would go and get what Sean Payton told him to get. And all these coaches benefited from Sean Payton's his alpha dog mentality and everything that he was bringing. Even Dennis Allen learned under him. I guess he didn't learn how to be, you know, he did a lot better this year in kind of trying to use Sean Payton's motivational techniques, bringing Avery Johnson in there to talk to people. In the third year, he really woke up. The thing is crazy that I was thinking about this today. Let me share this with you before I bring OG Jerry in here. This is something I talked about. I was thinking about Reese, and I was like, man, listen, the Saints, man, listen, they kind of slow on the switch. That's not really news that they slow on the switch with a lot of things that they do. Things that seem as quite obvious to us is not obvious to them. Like if the Saints would have gotten rid of Pete Carmichael last year and brought in Clint Kubiak last year, they'll be in year 2 of Kubiak's system. They waited a year before they fired him. They waited a year before they got rid of him. They should have got rid of his ass last year. And had they pulled the trigger and got Kubiak in here, or a coach similar to that, or that system, or if he wanted to do that, did it a year earlier, we'll be in year 2. But he didn't do it because he was comfortable. The pressure wasn't on like this. The moves that he's making now is because of desperation. He's facing a year in which he is under the gun. He's in a hot seat. So that when you're sitting on a hot seat, that usually makes you come out of your comfort zone to make decisions that you usually wouldn't make, to say things that you usually wouldn't say, that you've been supposed to say, and to make you get up off your ass and do your job 15, 20, 25% better than what you did it the previous year. Because if you don't do it, this is the end. And then the thing about it is he's never going to be a head coach again if he doesn't make it through this year. Nobody going to hire him to be no head coach, not at the NFL level. Yeah, absolutely not. So, I mean, in the end, if he goes somewhere else, if it works out negatively, he ends up somebody defensive coordinator and they got fired, he might be an interim coach until they find a coach. But it's like a year behind in the change. Seeing you need to make a change, seeing you need to fix things, go fix it. Don't wait for things get to the point where you can see daylight in the roof to say, you know what, I think I need to do something about the roof. No, you start seeing little signs. It all happens. Everything before it starts going the opposite way. Here come game now. Get ready. Here goes some game. Every time, it's no matter in life, no moment or any moment in life that you have, it's going to show. It's going to be signs. You're going to get signs before it falls out, before you ever fall out. A big thing, bad thing happens. There's always signs. You are always warned. It's whether or not you listen, whether or not you're paying attention. But go back to that old girl. Listen, family. That old girl, if she ain't right, that old girl gonna give you plenty of signs. That old girl gonna say things. She gonna operate a certain kind of way. She gonna have certain music playing. You know that you like, I don't think you're supposed to be listening to that song because I don't like that song right there. That kind of stuff. Man, everybody gets signs. You get it. It's all about you doing something about it before it actually falls out or it breaks down or whatever the case may be. If you got a vehicle, you need to be checking them tires. If you're rolling on them tires, you need to be looking at them goddamn tires, making sure them tires is all right. Or you going to be on side the road. You get signs. You get what I'm saying? Everybody gets signs. Everything you do, you get signs before it fall out. It don't just fall out. Think about it. It never just fall out. You get signs. So what the Saints do, they sit up here and do this arrogant ego thing. Like, oh, we with a big boastful sticking out chest, making almost, oh, hold on. I want to tell you something. I know what the F I'm doing. You guys can't tell me nothing. I don't want to tell you how many of you guys were general managers. You're not qualified. You're unqualified. You can't tell me nothing. I don't take advice from you. I'm Mickey Loomis. I'm slick Mickey Loomis. I keep that thing on me. It's just crazy. Everybody gets signs and you can learn from everybody. That's not how you're supposed to approach life. You never know who the good God gonna see you to learn from. You never know. So that's a part of the game, man. It's just the Saints, man. Slow on the switch. They had an opportunity to do something about this a year ago and ultimately chose to sit on their hands. Now, with him on that hot seat, when you're usually on the hot seat, baby, if you sit on something hot, it tends to make you jump around a little bit. You get me? All right, we're going to bring in OG. Welcome to the show. How you doing, my brother?
What's going on, Big Q, the Godfather?
OG Jarrett is in the thing. Big ups to my brother, man. What's on your mind tonight, my brother?
Rise up to fall down. Thank God every day I'm not a Falcon. You.
Yeah. Yeah, Lo, that need to be a shirt, bro. That need to be a shirt, Lo. For Lo.
Big time. You know how to throw that in there, Big Q.
OG, that need to be a shirt for my boy Lo, man. Rise up to fall down.
Hey, shout out to my boy T Dirty. He gonna make it too, and that's gonna come out your check, T Dirty. But be ready to make that shirt too, bro. Shout out to my boy T Dirty, man. That's what I love for that brother, man.
Rise up to fall down.
Rise up to fall down.
OG, we tripping up and down the steps, man. They going up, they tripping up the steps, they tripping down the stairs, man. They just can't seem to get it right, brother. The equilibrium's off, man.
You don't have to throw that in there, T. You have to throw that in there, Big Q. On the real, Joe.
Oh man, that's
I'm
a good.
sorry. I don't know who said that in the chat. I think it was Tim Dunn that said that. I think he said that. The Atlanta broke way. Lord have mercy. Big Q on the real. Thank you for having me on.
Shout out to you, OG.
But we had to mess with them fail cons for a second, especially you, Big Lo. We love you, Big Lo, but F the fail cons. There you Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah, it's always good, OG, when you can pick at the Falcons, man. It's always a good day and night when you can pick at the Falcons, brother.
Yep, and thank God every day I am not that, Big Q. I am
Yes,
not
sir.
that. Thank God. But anyway, on my recap from the game Sunday night, Big Q.
Yes, sir.
Some good I saw, and some not good, not so good. I mean, I think we talked about it about a week ago. You know, when it comes down to like the fourth down situations, and you know, when it comes to like fourth and short, 4th and 1 or 4th and 2, the Saints go for it.
Right.
Instead of punting, they did that again on Sunday night. They getting much better at that. I want to see some more of that in the regular season. But what I didn't like is what Joshua Dobbs smoking that Saint defense. I didn't like that.
Right.
I really didn't like that. I mean, and that's always been the kryptonite, Big Q.
Yes, sir.
You know, because we look for that Saint defense to make moves and put pressure on the quarterback so they can sack him.
Right.
And it's a good thing that we got Chase Young along with Cam Jordan and Carl Granderson and all those guys, because that whole defensive line really going to make some noise this year. Not only that, but with that linebacker too. I like that linebacker that we got. What's the name? Number 58.
Or Anthony Orji.
I like that guy. He's definitely gonna make the squad. 100. Right. Shout out to T Dirty say I'm already on it. Yeah, he's already on it. But on the real, despite I know it's preseason. I know it is. I'm just ready for the real deal in September, because we definitely better not lose to Carolina. If we lose to Carolina to open up Big Q, we're gonna have ourselves some good old fashioned come to Jesus meetings.
Yes.
Because so help me God, if we lose to them, it's gonna be a lot of queuing and it's gonna be a lot of answers. Going to be a lot of questions and answers why we lost to the freaking Carolina Panthers. And they over there rebuilding and trying to get everything right to beat us.
Yeah, you got a great point on that, OG. That Carolina game is it has to be a win. You got to win that game.
It's automatic when we can't just lay down on these kitty cats, bro. We can't.
Right.
We just can't.
Right. Oh, absolutely, man. Yeah, we got to take care of business against every one of these teams, man. But to open up the season, OG, with a loss at Carolina, that wouldn't work, bro. Because you'd be under the gun against Dallas, Philly, Atlanta, and then Kansas City, and that wouldn't be the end of the world to start the season that way. But if that happens and you fall behind more than 3 games, dare I say, that's catastrophic because I don't think Dennis Allen will be able to survive under that kind of pressure, man. That would be it's going to be catastrophic. He has to kind of be coaching kind of scared to a degree to not let that happen.
Facts. And Big Q, I just had a discussion about that with a 49ers fan on his channel about an hour ago. So he invited me as a special guest, CG Ruthless. He's a 49ers fan.
Okay.
And, we were scheduled to do a preview Saturday, but it kind of got tied up. I said, you know what, we'll just do it after we play on Sunday. So good thing we did. Good, and some of the family members came over there. I don't know if Mad Drummer's in the chat. I don't know if Jay Live is in the chat. I don't know if Trap Star's in the chat. But I do thank those 3 for coming by to show the OG of all Saints podcasts some love.
Show them some love. That's right. The OG, man.
Yes, sir. So, it's going to be very interesting, BQ.
Oh, yeah.
Very interesting. It's a lot is at stake.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 3rd year final. And like I said, man, we don't exactly know how many years Dennis Allen's contract is. They keep that from us. But I think this is going to be, like I said, man, it's a lot. It's a big gamble for what he's doing. It will help because the defense will be okay. It's just the offense is the issue. You got a lot of youth over there. You counting on them to pick it up fast. You're trying to change Derek Carr and speed him up. It's a lot of habits to break in 11 years of doing what he's doing. So it's a lot of stuff that the Saints have. And they don't have to be perfect, but they have to execute. They got to keep the miscues down. They got to take the ball away. And when they get to the red zone, they got to put stuff together. Like the other night, as a collective, the Saints was like 1-11 in the third, 1 of 11 in the third down, with all these different offenses that were chaired by those different quarterbacks. But they were kind of what they were 2-2 in the fourth quarter, in the fourth down, but 1-11 in third down. So there's some stuff to work on, man, going forward. But this is definitely an imperative year period, bro.
Absolutely, Big Q.
Mm-hmm.
And all I can say is I'm still riding with this team, whether we do good, and I'm gonna still ride with this team when we do bad. But I am never, ever gonna lead this squad for another team, especially the Falcons, because they doing better. That ain't gonna happen, Jack.
Yeah, but that's the thing, though, OG. It's like at some point, that's just how the universal order works. Like you do enough, you build up to a point where you start actually achieving. That's how it's supposed to work. You make the proper decisions. You make the right decisions with coaches and talent, and you have some fortune with the injuries. You should be able to win some games. But like I mentioned in the chat, can the Saints make the playoffs this year? If that is answered pretty easily, if you believe that the Saints can win the NFC South. If they can win the NFC South, they can make the playoffs. So we don't have juggernauts in the NFC South. Carolina, both those games are winnable. The Atlanta games are winnable against that team. We might split with them. The Tampa Bay series is winnable. None of these teams are juggernauts, and it's all about who puts it together. So if the NFC South is considered wide open, then the Saints have a better chance, the same as all of the other teams. There's no juggernaut here. It's open. So if you can win the South, you got the playoffs. Mm-hmm.
That's true. And Gundam, I like what you said. They said We better sign Kamara ASAP before we play Carolina. Oh, hopefully it'll get done. I'm praying that it gets done.
Yeah, I agree with you, OG. Hopefully it'll get done between now and the start of regular season. That'll be really cool to see that get happen. I know they reported it some time ago that the Saints had issued an offer. They didn't report any numbers to Alvin Kamara. I know at some point Alvin Kamara's representation sent a counter offer back to the Saints, because you very rarely sign the first deal that they give you. You know, it's usually a low ball deal. And of course they'll pivot and send a re-offer. And I'm probably sure the Saints got the re-offer on their desk, and they just have to banter about what they feel is the right necessary price so both sides could be happy. But there is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If you want to have a playoff run, you need Alvin Kamara here to make it happen.
Right, Big Q.
Mm-hmm.
And before I get out of here, Mickey Loomis, if you're listening, get on your P's and Q's and do your job.
Indeed. Yep. Absolutely, OG. Listen.
I don't want to hear. I've been sleeping on the job. I said, get up and do your job. That's all I can say, Q.
All right, that's pretty good, OG. All right, appreciate you.
And once again, rise up to fall down. You have a good night, Big Q. Have a good night, Who Dat Nation. I love you all, and ain't nothing y'all can do about it. Who Dat for life. Let's go.
All right, that's the OG Jarrett, man. Shout out to OG, man. Appreciate the OG. Oh man, listen, man. Oh man, just love it, man. They do it to themselves. I ain't create that crazy model. Rise up. Well, you rising up, that means you was dead, right? I just asked you the question. Like, if you rising up, that's wasn't your ass dead? I mean, is that how it goes? I guess they was trying to. I don't know who came up with that, man. I was like, what? When I first heard that, I was like, what? What is that? That's what y'all gonna do? So you were rising up. That mean your ass was dead. And I was like, you go back and look at the history. Yeah, that's about right. So we rising up from the dead. We gonna take the NFC South, man. They might listen, fam. It's gonna be interesting. Like, I'm just messing with my Atlanta Falcon people, man. Y'all, I'm picking at y'all. All right, we got JT, man. If y'all won't get in here, y'all please feel free to hit the link. It's pinned to the chat. Right now, we got the poll question. Another poll question is, should Saints sign Kamara to a 2-year extension? 60 plus people says yes. 89% of the people, actually, 60 of the poll voters said 89% of those people said yes. 11% says no. So there you go. The Who Dats have spoken on that. That's a lopsided one right there. Brother JT, how you doing, sir? Welcome on in.
All right, Q. How you doing there, Q? Long time.
Good, man. Yeah, man. Good to hear from you, man.
Yes, indeed. I'm the same person. I'm going to start off from where I left off at. Last time we spoke about the coach being more losses than wins, and the team trying to play as hard as they playing, but you still got a coach that got that kind of record. So, you got to be real about it. It's going to be, he the coach, right? Right, Q? He the coach, right? You see what I'm saying? He the coach, so hey, I'm going to give something that a lot of people not aware of and not talking about. Who is the head scout for us, Q? What's his name again? We got
Jeff
it from Miami. All right. I think he done ran his course. I think he done ran his course. Because I'm looking at what we've been getting these last 5 years, 3, 4, 5 years, and how you blow all these number one picks like that. Davenport, Turner, what's this other one we got right here? And not just number one picks, number two picks too. I mean, You know, I mean, look at it. Look at it. We talking about letting Foskett go, and that was a number 2 pick last year. You see, we talking about letting him go. You see, I'm looking at all of that. So we got to get us a new scout and manager, general manager, because I think Ireland and ran his course. I know nobody never brought it up, but I'm looking at that because you only build a team. You build a team through the draft, and if you got 6 picks in the draft and one of them making and he a reserve, I'm like, well, wait, hold on, something wrong with this picture. You know, something wrong with this picture. You can't have Peyton Turner. Peyton Turner have more excuses than playtime. So and he's been here long enough. So how you still want to keep him? I'm tired of that kind of stuff, Q. You know how I am, Q. I mean,
Right.
Davenport's, Turner's, Ruiz, his half and half playing self. I mean, I know that's all we got right now, but it shouldn't be that way, Q. It shouldn't be that way. We should have us a line. We should have us an offensive line that's capable. You can't go in the summertime and come out 4 months later with a right tackle that's supposed to be, you still training him. You train, that's how I put it. It looked like you training him in the classroom and on the field. You know, I mean, you go in the draft and you get another left tackle, which he was a right tackle, but you put him on the left side so he can block the blind side. You see, I mean, all this stuff is all screwed up. See, they're not gonna pull no wool over my head. I've been talking about them lately, different positions, Q and everything, but they ain't gonna fool me, Q. They can't fool me. How you a losing coach and you was with the Raiders, and then you come to New Orleans, and then you go back to the Raiders and get your 2 or 3 of the Raiders men that you was losing with, and you're gonna bring them with you to New Orleans to lose with you there. I don't understand that. I mean, what that is? What's going on with that, Q? I'm talking about them. That safety, that tight end, and that other boy. I forgot that other position. The other one. You know you can't do that. There's something behind the scenes be going on. I don't know if they get. Look, I'm gonna bring you with me. Just give me. I don't know what they do, but I'm gonna be real. I don't know. They might tell me, give me $1 million, man. Give me. I don't know. I don't know what they do, Q. But I can tell you one thing. There's something behind the scenes going on. And watch this kicker. Watch what's going to happen. Watch we fool around, and we're gonna get this kicker. Keep this kicker, this punter, I think he is, and we're gonna cut the other punter. And guess where he gonna go? He gonna go to Denver. He gonna go to Denver.
Got it all. JT.
Yeah. Oh, believe me. Watch what's going on. Watch this whole picture. Watch this picture. You're gonna fool around here, and he's gonna go to Denver, and then we're gonna sit up here and we're gonna say, "See, look at that." Just like he said, went to, and it's gonna be somebody else. It's a few things, man, but they do stuff that buddy system. We caught up in some kind of little stuff right now, with 3 teams, Raiders, Denver, Saints. It's some kind of old stuff going on, Q. But like you always say, Q. I ain't gonna hold you too long, but I want to give one person some. Look, Q. I ain't gonna hold you too long. But I want to give some props to this young man, and I've been burying him for the longest. Not as much as I've been burying Peyton Turner, but I'm gonna keep burying him till he shovel off the team. Trevor Penning, man, you got it. He showed me a good bit that he's getting around to. He's getting it. It looked like he's just getting it because I saw him pushing people. I saw him keeping them off. I saw him his run. I never questioned his run blocking. His run blocking is to me is good. It's off the chart. But I was questioning his pass blocking, and he's getting it. But I know. And we all got to keep this in mind. He wasn't going up against the top defensive ends that he's going to be seeing the first, second, third, fourth, fifth games of the season. You see, he wasn't going up against them. But I think from what I saw that time, I got to see more, though. I got to see more the next game. That's what we're dealing with right now. Wait and see. I got to see more. and then maybe I'll stay along. I'll go along with him a little more than that. But right now, we got everybody happy and everything queued for our quarterback, Derek Carr. I mean, he threw for what, 47 yards off so many. And I was telling Dolph the other day off his show, Keeping It Real podcast. I said, Dolph, I can't get too happy with him because if you look at that times 4 quarters, that's a pedestrian outing. To me, that's what, about 188 yards or something, or 160 something yards off of maybe 20 something passes. That's a pedestrian. He's supposed to be big time. He's supposed to be a big time quarterback. He's supposed to come up in here and be slinging that ball and completing them passes and stop looking like he's straining to throw a complete pass. You know, that's what it looked like to me. So you know, I know I'm going off, Q, but I ain't gonna hold you too long though, Q. You know, I'm trying to give you all what I got right now. You understand? Without mentioning this name too much, Peyton Turner. I was looking at this young fella, and the young fella was going up against. I even looked at it again. He was going up against a second and third string dude, and he still blew that sack. That was just a sack. But I mean, you can't. It's nothing you can do for me right now, Q. You are #1 pick. There's nothing you can do for me right now that you couldn't do when you first started. Because if you're a #1 pick, you're on the field day one, right, Q?
Most times, yes.
Yeah, most times. Look, Q, I'm going to tell you something. I always knew when you go in the top draft, the top 32 team in the draft, you're going to get skill position players. That's what you're looking for. Now, even if I don't have a pass rusher on my team that I need that year, and there's a Lamar Jackson sitting right there, and I know my aging quarterback is aging, you get you a Lamar Jackson. That's what you do. But it was good that man didn't come here because we probably was short in his career. His career probably been 2 years. I'm just telling you. Probably 2 years with us, fooling around with us. You understand? I understand it, me. I understand it. But Q, I ain't gonna go too much. I'm gonna leave you right there. And I'm just letting you know he gonna be a reserve again this year, Mr. Turner, because he can't beat out what we brought in already. So that's that, Q.
All right, brother JT, man, letting it out, brother.
Oh man, look, Q, I got notes up here. I'm sitting up here. I've been waiting on you. I got notes sitting up here. Man, go ahead, man. Man. They can't fool me with none of that old crap. Yeah, you know, what they need to do is they need to do this here. Stop trying to go get a coach with more wins than losses. I mean, I ain't saying nothing what everybody's thinking. I mean, I know they thinking it is in the back of their head, but I like to say the real stuff because it's sitting right there in front of our face. You understand? Like everybody used to say some years ago, they used to be like, wow, our cornerbacks don't turn around. They can get the intercept. It's right there. I mean, look at the guy who was running the cornerbacks at the time. What his name was? He wasn't that good of a cornerback himself. He was with the Jets years ago.
Aaron Glenn.
Oh, man, come on, man. Come on, man. Man, I ain't got time for none of that. Stuff like that. They set up there. How you going to go get me a cornerback that, man, how you going to do that and you going to wonder why they don't turn around? Go look at his tapes. And see. You're going to say, damn, that's where they get it from. He don't turn around either. Man, go ahead, Q. You got me digging all in this little head of mine, man. Go ahead. I'm going far back, and they got some youngsters on this thing right now, on this podcast, probably saying, who JT talking about? Man, it must have been a long time ago. Yeah, it was a long time ago. But he was there at the time. Allen was there at the time. You know, But
Yeah,
I give him his prop that he can build a defense. But give them the other coordinators some justice too. Now, don't just say
right.
him. Get them other coordinators justice because them guys they ain't out there for their help. Them guys, I'm looking at linebackers, 3 and 4 deep playing. Q. Who coached the linebackers? Whoever coached the linebackers, give him his props. Give him his
Michael.
props.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Hodges.
give him his props. Give Mr. Hodges his props. You understand? Who coached the secondary? Give him his props. Give him his props, unless until it comes to safety, because that's a little shaky. But give him his props. Give him his props. That's all I can say. Defensive line. Now I gotta wait and see on that because we were 22nd against the run, and I gotta see what happened at that. What's gonna go on with that? So right now, but I mean, you give people their props on their position. Don't give all that to Dennis Allen. Dennis Allen is the head coach now. What you give Dennis Allen is what he brought in there. Jarrett Carr. That's what he brought in there. $150 million man. That's who he brought in there. Now, I ain't got time. I mean, people ain't gonna fool me, man. Them old sidearm throwing his skate. He's scared. He don't run out. He got to run out the pocket. He got to do all that. He don't do none of that. He gonna stand there and get buried. Y'all better keep that in mind. I've just been cool for a little while playing along with him, but I just want to let everybody know. Let's keep our head in the game, y'all. It's gonna be a long season, but just keep your head in the game. I'm a diehard too. I'm a diehard too. Don't say I'm not a diehard, nobody. I'm a diehard. And I want my team to win, but I want my team in the playoffs because I done seen enough of the Saints losing. I'm back, youngsters, all the way when they have the bags on their head, youngsters. Y'all heard what I said? I'm all the way back with the bags on my head. So if I was putting bags on my head and was glad to do it because I thought it was something funny to do, let's just put the bag on it and write a 0 and 16 on it. You understand? We were the laughing stock of the NFL for a long time. Now we ain't that no more. So let's keep playing strong ball like we always do. Don't play no less. I don't want nothing, no less, none of it. I want all ball. Let's dominate our division. You understand? Let's win in the Superdome. Man, we ain't even winning in the Dome. Y'all better wait. Let's wait to see what's happening. Let's wait. We got a couple of steps to take. We got to win in the Superdome. You understand? We got to do that first, man. Let's get right, y'all. Let's get right. Let's stay strong though. It's gonna be a long season.
All right, JT, man.
I'm gone, Q. I'm gone, bro. I'm gone, Q. I had
Appreciate
all
it.
this. Let me put my notes away, man. I'm gonna have to put this in the thing on safe, man. Put these notes in the safe, man.
Refer to them at a later date, brother. See if they got them fixed, bro. That's what we gonna do.
That's what we gonna do. Yeah. All right, be cool, Q. Y'all take it easy.
You too, my brother. Thank you, man. Appreciate you, brother JT. That brother JT, man, a diehard to the bone, Gristle, man. Shout out to brother JT, OG, Trey, all the family members, man. Listen. Oh, man. Man, people are kind of up in there, man, with the feelings and everything, man. It's been a hard 3 years for a lot of the Who Dat family members, man. It's been a hard 3 years, 9 playoff years. And the frustrating part about it all is the NFC South is wide open, especially last year. One of the weakest schedules, they say. Saints finished with 9 wins, couldn't get in there. This year, we got a couple of teams as well. I mean, I ain't gonna discount what Tampa Bay did. They lost Canellis, and it's still to be determined how the offense functions. He was the QB whisperer that helped Baker Mayfield. But is Baker Mayfield last year's Baker, or did he become Faker Mayfield with Canellis there? A lot of questions yet to be answered. They did kind of add some talent to see if they could try to go back and win the NFC South again. Carolina, they did a whole bunch of stuff. They done changed, they fired everybody on the, offensive side. And their defense is a pretty damn good young unit. Canellis is there in Carolina, whispering to Bryce Young. And Bryce Young had a fantastic practice the other day. They trying to win something, man. And then of course the Saints, they got everything, man. The Saints just need the quarterback to stay on code. We need to get the running back going, the running game going. Our defense is okay. I see a lot of questions with our special teams unit. Like Blake Grupe, but the punters suck, man. The punters are not good. I don't know what they're going to do with Matt Highball and all these guys and that other kicker from Australia. Both of them actually from Australia, man. It's crazy, man, to be honest with you about these guys. But we'll see. We'll see where the hell it's aiming at. Very interesting. All right, few questions from the fam, man. Appreciate y'all asking that poll question. Should the Saints sign Kamara to a 2-year extension? 90% of the pollers says yes. Now, you would hear, and I hear a lot of people comment on whether Alvin Kamara should be brought back. Well, now, he's 29, going into 30, da-da-da-da. But fam, it's always like a exception to every rule, right? That we do. It's always an exception to every rule. And Alvin Kamara, Christian McCaffrey, guys like that are the exception to the rule. Alvin Kamara hasn't really been, dare I say, overused, especially over the last couple of years. And he gives you great value. And then if you're mixing them in with a rotation of running backs, that's special because he never has to leave the field. I mean, Alvin Kamara can slide into a wide receiver position. You can bring Kendre Miller or Jamal Williams in and decoy Kamara and Taysom, spread them out, slide them out wide. And them guys are going to look at it like, what the hell Alvin Kamara doing out there? They're going to pay attention to Alvin Kamara. You stretch out that defense, run Jamal Williams or Kendre Miller at him. I mean, there's many different, that's what people like Taysom, Alvin, Chris Olave, that's what they do for you. They force the defense to want to double team them. And when they're doing that, that means somebody else is open. Or, Alvin Kamara, you can't single check Alvin Kamara. Very few people could do that. Or Taysom Hill. So that's a big part of it. And of course, Derek Carr has to be able to make the throws. He was a little erratic with several throws in the game until he got going. He got a little bit better in the drive when he got some rhythm, which shows, that, he's got to do a better job of ball placement, putting the ball between the defensive back and the cornerback. I mean, defensive back and the wide receiver, you got to throw in front of them, throw them open. And I don't know, Carr has to work on that. And he never was a super terrific, accurate dude. His skill is throwing the deep ball, laying the deep ball out there. He wasn't really super known for being super accurate like a Drew Brees or anybody of that ilk. Deep ball throwing ass quarterback. So the Saints would just have to utilize these guys to their best ability, like not changing them into something that he can't be. That's the truthfulness of it. He's in his 11th year. You're trying to speed him up and all that stuff is well and good. But you got to understand who he is at this stage. You're not going to get him to change radically different. He has 11 years of habits that'll be incredibly difficult for him to break, and trying to get him to speed the clock up in his head. You'll see some improvement there. I'm not saying he can't adjust to what you're asking him to do, but you have to be mindful of how much you're trying to get him to do in that amount of time. And like I said, my focus would be on just running the football and letting him operate, because he can operate play action. He can do that. That's one of the best things he can do outside throwing the deep ball. He can run that play action. He did that that's what they were saying about Derek Carr, what he looked so good for last year. I mean, he was operating the goddamn play action. He wasn't out there just willy-dilly and throwing around. He was in the play action. That's what play action Carr looks like. They were operating, running the ball. They were running the ball, and they had the play action going, and Derek Carr looks really comfortable because he's not the primary weapon that's driving the team. You're using a running game and the passing game off the back. It's secondary, passing game secondary. That's off of it. Primary run, secondary is the passing game. You get what I'm saying? Primary and secondary. So that's what we have to focus on doing early on to gain success. Now, we just got to test it, man. We have to have that attitude. That's the biggest component here. Now, people talking about, can the Saints make the playoffs? Like I said, can you win the NFC South? It's not a juggernaut division. It's actually wide open. Saints just have to stay on code just well enough to be able to do it. They got a tough group of games to start the year off, starting with Carolina, which should be a winnable game. I don't want to put nothing past them because that's a trap game. That Carolina game is a trap game. That's a trap game because you got at Dallas behind them, and then Philly at home. The next game, you kind of hope they have the discipline not to peer over the shoulder of Carolina. That's how you get beat. That Carolina game's a trap game because you go to Dallas behind it. You got to watch that one. That's gonna be that's how you get beat. So they have to be intelligent and operate that way. So, like I said, I'm not too terrible about them. Like I said, I'm just gonna wait and see how they operate and see what they do. See how they put it all together, man. This is the year. All right. So anyway, the Rook says, I think they're gonna affect them negatively losing Canellis. Okay, thank you, bro. Appreciate you. That shout out to you. Hemisphere says the first 6 games will tell us a lot about the Saints this year. Indeed, you can see it on the schedule. That's why I got it pulled up here. Yeah, I'm not even looking at the rest of it. The first 11 weeks are pretty good. We focus on Dallas, Philly, Atlanta, Kansas City, but don't look past Tampa Bay. Denver on a short week with Sean Payton coming in here. Los Angeles Chargers are not a pushover team. They got Harbaugh over there. We got Carolina at Carolina, which they usually play difficult. And then you come home for Atlanta, which is always going to be a fight. And then Cleveland, depending on the Jameis Dale, Deshaun Watson, I'd probably say Jameis to be in that game. Might have a little axe to grind against Cleveland. Cleveland's not a pushover either. So you have a lot of tough games before you go into the bye. We can come out against the Rams, and we've had issues beating the Rams. So it's a long season, and it's going to be a interesting season to say the least, and I'm looking forward to it. All right. What's up, Duke? How you doing, sir? Appreciate you there. Big Q, mismatch nightmare. That's right, fam. Yeah, exactly. That's my little term now. I like to say, what's up, Divine says, Carr have to get out his head and focus. Yes, indeed. Reginald says, Saints offense looked good. Defense was wreaking havoc on the 49ers young quarterback. He's I can't see what that is. Is that a devil or something? All right. Yeah, that Carolina game is a must win, bro. You can't lose to Carolina and then go into Dallas and then have Philly, then Atlanta and Kansas City. Because to be told, I think a lot of the Who Dat Nation would be happy if the Saints were to come out of those 4 games, Dallas, Philly, Atlanta, and Kansas City 2-2. That could very well would happen because I'm not expecting them to be 6-0, by the time they get out of that gauntlet. It'll be difficult, man. It depends on who these teams are, how they plan, and that's very difficult to forecast on that right now, man. It's a week-to-week situation, man. Carolina is definitely a must-win, but it's the ultimate trap game. I ain't gonna lie to you. Starting the season off with a trap game with Dallas behind them. Yeah. He says you lose that, you start 0-3. A Carolina loss, you got Dallas and Philly, Atlanta, and Kansas City. The Saints would be fortunate if they come out of there 2-2. L-Dub says also, let's not forget that the first 4 games are from the NFC teams. So definitely can't afford to drop the ball with those games because it might bite them in the end. Yes, you got Carolina to start it off. You got the week 4 matchup against Atlanta, week 6 against Tampa Bay, week 9 against Carolina, and then week 10 against Atlanta. And then that's pretty much it from the NFC South schedule until you play the Buccaneers in Tampa at the back of the season. So the week 18 is the final game. So your NFC South schedule is going to be wrapped up by week number 10 outside of the Tampa Bay game in Tampa. You get what I'm saying? So we'll be done with Atlanta by, the series with Carolina and Atlanta by week 10. So yeah, these games, yeah, it's a good mixture of competing teams because Dallas is supposed to be seen as a contender. Philly is supposed to be a contending team. Atlanta is supposed to be on another level. Kansas City is obviously the Super Bowl team, so you got them. So you have teams here, that's supposed to be, in the top of the division that you'll be matching up against. And that also will tell the tale how good your squad is, and do you belong up there in the top 4 or 5 teams in the NFC? You get what I'm saying? All right. Thank you, L-Dub. Shout out to you. Reginald says, let's take care of business. They have to start off fast. They can beat the Cowgirls. Got to start off fast. Thank you, Reginald. Divine says 2-3 going into week 6 would be a given. Yeah, if the Saints, as long as the Saints are not trailing, like they're not in the 3-game deficit, because that's the nightmare scenario for the Saints is if they beat Carolina and then lose games against Dallas, Philly, Atlanta. I'm expecting them to beat Atlanta because you don't want to lose against Dallas or Philly. These are 2 tough teams. Saints have a good schedule. So you got those 4 games, Dallas, Philly, Atlanta, and Kansas City. You'd be fortunate if they finish that 2-2. But anything less than that, like if they come out of that gauntlet, early gauntlet of games, 2 or 3 losses behind, going into the Tampa Bay game and all that kind of stuff, it could get real serious for the Saints, man. It can get real serious for them real quick because then it's out. The pressure's going to build quick. So we just, like I said, we need to just take care of business, man, and just stay away from that. Just stay away from that, period. Stay away from that. Just handle it one game at a time. Run the football, control your miscues, pre-snap penalties, keep that out of the way and just handle business, man. That's what you got to do. All right. Big ups to the fam. Appreciate y'all, man. Shout out to my callers tonight, man. I appreciate them chiming in and dropping some game, man, on it. So like I said, fam, the black and gold from the matchup, they got Tennessee coming up for the final preseason game. And like I said, man, these games, boy, do the preseason games rip and run, don't they, family? They rip and run. The Saints now are looking at the final preseason matchup against Tennessee. That'll be in the Dome. Saints 1-1, Tennessee's 2-0. And we'll have an opportunity to kind of take a look at Jake Hayner and Spencer Rattler, because I doubt Derek Carr and them will play. I don't think we see too many of our starters. Maybe some. Maybe you'll see Penning in there getting some work. But outside of that, man, Carr and them and all these guys are not going to be in there. We're going to see a lot of the backups for the final preseason matchup coming up this weekend. A lot of stuff going on, man. The Saints final practice week to decide on which players should be able to make the team. We'll come back on Wednesday. Actually, we'll have a stream tomorrow on our Patreon channel where we kind of go over that. We'll go on our Patreon channel and kind of do a depth chart, 53-man roster depth chart, and kind of talk about who should make the team. We'll go over that tomorrow on Patreon. So if y'all guys are not members of the Patreon special, please feel free to join patreon.com/the Pro Media Network. Link is in the description section below. I think the link tree is linked in there, or you can pop on there. It'll take you to wherever, so you can join there, or you become a member of the channel. We'll be able to do it. So we'll be doing that special feed tomorrow, just attempting to predict the 53-man roster with like a week left before the end of the preseason, man. So we're getting down to the nitty-gritty, man. Getting down to the nitty. One more preseason game, and then you got another week, and then you got the first game of the schedule. The regular season happening pretty quick. Sunday, September the 8th against the Carolina Panthers on Fox. It's a noontime kickoff game in the Dome. Starting off the right way. It's going to be fantastic, man. All right, a few more before we get. Reginald says, hey, Q, Saints Roundtable, you and Dolph and TJ Hoodie, and call in show. What do you think? Call in the Saints game. We have to talk about it, bro, because when you do the call-ins, that like you mean call in the game, like a play-by-play, usually that's kind of, I don't like to do that call-in stuff because it's this depending on what you're watching it on. Like if you have digital television, your feed is faster than somebody else's feed because somebody might be watching it on something else and they'll be depending on 2 to 3, 5 seconds behind you. So the time is off. It makes for a weird feed. Like you'll be ahead of them and then you'll be calling a game like you're a fortune teller and then they'll see it seconds later after you call it. So, that kind of throws me off the feed wise. But in terms of like of a regular stream talking about Saints stuff, that's fine. We do that all the time. The NFC Roundtable is coming up soon, man. We kind of working it out for the time and date. So for me, Low, Dave Rashad and Big Game James from the Big Game podcast. We're going to be doing a round table very soon, man. Very soon. Maybe this week. Y'all be looking out for that as well. You know, it's always super cool when we get together. I love our NFC roundtables. It's great comment, a great community we have between us, man. I think it's the best in the business, man, how we do it, man. Because it's like everybody got love and respect for each other. We've been, you know, we listen to each other's streams. Everybody, all these guys are knowledgeable. We got great repartee. So it's always great when we put our NFC South roundtables together, man. It's terrific. All right. Attempt says cut Flopsky before, but he'll clear waivers. I don't think they're gonna release him, brother. Brother Tragic says, unfortunately for your running backs, you're on borrowed time after 30. That's you do agree, brother Tragic, that there is an exception to every rule, and AK-41 is the exception. A 2-year extension would not hurt the Saints with Alvin Kamara. And besides, it's not like Alvin Kamara is the best offensive player you have. You do not have a replacement for Alvin Kamara. He knows this, and he does have a bit of leverage right now. The Saints can be stubborn and decide not to pay him. They have that right too. Well, like I said, if you got Alvin Kamara, it doesn't hurt my feelings if they were able to sign him to a 2-year extension where they have him. And at that point, because even when Alvin Kamara turns 30, he's not like a 30-year-old. His body's not like a rundown back. I keep saying that about Alvin Kamara. His body's not run down. He's in great shape. Hell, Alvin Kamara could play right now if he wanted to. He's one of the rare players that we have that you could put him out there. He can go run a full game for you. He's always in tip-top shape. Always at the top of his game. I don't think a 2-year contract would hurt Alvin Kamara to come back under the Saints offense. I would definitely give him that. I mean, didn't he earn it? Doesn't he earn it? I mean, you could pay Cam Jordan with no questions. They paid Cam with no questions. But Alvin Kamara got all the questions. And like I said, man, don't forget what they said, because nobody investigated this. They investigated this. Alvin Kamara said that they wanted me to do what they wanted me to do what they wanted me to do, and I ain't do it. He said what was the word that he used? What he said, feelings? I'm gonna have to go back and listen to that portion again. I'm gonna have to go back and listen to that Alvin Kamara interview when he first got to camp. And his first interview, and he was talking about everything. He gave a whole game plan out about it. And he was talking about the feeling was, he said the feeling was that I didn't do what I was supposed, I forgot how he phrased him. I have to go and pull it back, but he's like, I didn't do what they wanted me to do. And whatever. And he said he believed that was the point of contention, that whatever he wanted him to do, he didn't do it. And he believed that's why he was having issues. And the question I asked when he said it was, hold on, what the hell did the Saints want him to do? What did they want him to do? None of them reporters asked no question. They didn't follow that. All of the million questions they asked, they didn't. That was a layup for them. Nobody even approached that shit. They didn't even go nowhere near it. They let it go. And I was like, hold on. What did they want him to do? Some of the family members from the Great Saint Think Tank said, Q, I think they probably wanted him to apologize or something, because Alvin was one of the vocal leaders last year that didn't like the direction of what the team was doing. Lattimore was one. Alvin Kamara was one. Cam talked on it, but Cam talked on it really, politically. He didn't go in like Alvin was. And he was one of the, quote, fractured, unquote, players that we talked about in the locker room that I said, family, you'll know who it is when the season over with. You'll start seeing these guys step forward and all this. And Alvin Kamara was one of the guys that didn't like how things was going in the locker room last year and was talking on it. So was it an apology is what they wanted? Who knows? But the point is they never investigated. They never asked questions to follow up. What did the Saints want Alvin Kamara to do that he didn't do? And that he believes that is the reason why he's having contract issues, because this is a done dollar. You gave Cam money, you gave him, and he says he wants to be a finisher Saint. It ain't no question in my mind. Alvin Kamara should finish a Saint. And when the Saints ever gave a damn about money? with Mickey Loomis. Now all of a sudden, when it come down to Alvin Kamara, he cares about money. He paid Pete Werner what, $17 million, $17.5 million for Pete Werner, and you bring a guy in here to compete with him. None of that makes sense to me. That's why I'm saying Mickey Loomis is cracking the F up, man. None of that makes sense. He's operating emotionally, and I don't like that. I don't like that. And nobody but the Great Saint think tank is pulling this goddamn card. I don't like that. What's up, Pelicans? Nola, how you doing, fam? All right, what's up, Eugene says, who that from South Philly, Q, crawfish and cheese steaks tonight, fam. Oh, go ahead on, Eugene, bro. Why you teasing, brother? Why you doing that, brother? That's wrong, brother. All right. Reggie says Q has Big Low Country turned the cartwheel yet about yeah, they love that, man. I know Lil and them love that they talking about you're not gonna be able to throw on them with Bates and Simmons back there. I say that's fine, man. Sooner or later, when we get to running the ball, you're gonna have to drop one of them safeties down there. Sooner or later, you're gonna have to drop one of them safeties down there. When we start running the ball, you're gonna have to put one of them safeties down there. And when we do that, we're going up top of your head. And I see how he handled that shit. So, like I said, man, it's going to be fun watching. It just makes it for grander football, in my opinion, man. Pelicans knows his cue. If them punters make the 53, we're in trouble. Grab the 49ers punter. They're not cutting them loose, bro. They're not cutting that guy loose. That guy was spectacular last night, man, kicking that ball like that. I was like, man, it took the Saints would have to combine them punters to make him have a decent outing against that guy. That guy was spectacular. He knew he had the perfect reverse spin on the ball. He'll punt the ball will spin back, hit the ground, and bounce up. Not like a bullet, but it would bounce up where the guy was right there. All he had to do was just grab it. It'll touch down and then bounce up in the air right into his hands. And it wasn't a violent bounce like it hit and then it shot backwards. You see what I'm saying? He placed it every time, all of his punts, and I think he had like 4 punts. All 4 of the punts ended up inside the 20. That guy was kicking the hell out of the ball, and I was like, damn. Then you can start seeing it's a method with how he was doing. He had it down. He was punting his ass off and backing the Saints up, man. That's what you need. I mean, we used to have that with Tommy Morstead. Blake Gillikin was good, and the Saints put him in the street. Now we got 2 foreign punters that none of them are actually good enough to play a full season. We don't know what Matt Highball is, but the Saints really need to investigate finding a punter of some type of veteran that can help the Saints out. And I don't know if perhaps they'll find one. I'm not certain, man, but they really made a difficult situation by putting Blake Gillikin in the street. Blake Gillikin shouldn't have been cut. That was just that dumb decision by Dennis Allen. Now we're looking for guys. All right, so anyway, man, listen, man, I'm gonna get ready to cut on that. I appreciate all you guys for being in the stream, man, as well. And yeah, we definitely, special teams is a point of contention as well. We got to look out. We focusing on offensive line, rightfully so, but the punt situation is not looking good. The return situation is still very murky. That's stuff that need to be determined going into it. I think that might be a little bit more important than the backup QB battle at this point, is the returner situation, the punt situation with those terrible punters. A lot of stuff still need to be looked at going forward. Yeah, the 49ers is not going to release that punter, man. That dude's going to be there, man, bottom line. All right, so anyway, fam, I'm going to get out on that, man. Y'all hit the like button, hit the subscribe. I appreciate you guys chiming in. I shall return tomorrow for our Patreon Tuesday special, man. We'll go over the 53. We'll do a 53-man projection roster, and I'll try to put together a 53-man roster for the squad, man, and decide on who makes the team and go from there. We'll do that tomorrow. We'll cover all the latest news and notes on the Patreon live special tomorrow on Patreon Tuesday. So with that being said, man, y'all have a fantastic rest of y'all night. I'll holler at y'all Tuesday. Much love, and who that?
Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Long as I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. Sports Coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody please please better help. Running this thing like Elf. I thank God every day I'm not a Falcon. Go to YouTube Live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your shade for the championship. Bucking on town, duck down. Falcons, pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy, then you probably smell the crooked referees or Roger Goodell. Yeah, brother like this, and I'm a who that. Every day I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that at. Where we do that at. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that at. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
Who that say they gonna beat them Saints? Who that? Who that? Who that say they gonna beat them Saints? Who that? Who that? Who that say they gonna beat them Saints? Who that?
Bet Online is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for everything football. From the preseason NFL to college kicking off, Bet Online has every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads while the games are being played. Think you know your stuff? Get on our winner takes all $300,000 NFL pool for the upcoming season. When the game's over, head on over to our online casino and get in on a game of blackjack or poker or unwind with over 150 slot games. Head to the website today and use the promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, and get in on the action. Bet Online, the game starts here.
WhoThatDaily.com. That's right, WhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, WhoThatDaily.com is your site. The WhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us. That's right, the Pro Shop is the platform store where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and many other items. Please feel free to check out the Pro Shops. The link is in the description section below. And remember, it helps the platform continue to grow.